Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Your next comedian hails from the great tri-state area. She's been in clubs and venues all over. And she's here to perform for you this evening. Put your hands together for Esther Forster! Guys, let's give it up for Terry. Oh, I better suck in. Guys, is it really possible? You ladies know you suck in when you take a picture, right? Is it really possible to suck in without opening your mouth? Other thing I've noticed is when you're laughing, your stomach goes out like you're 5 months pregnant. Every time I see a picture of myself doing comedy, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fat. Guys, but look at me. Obviously, guys, I'm a contradiction in term, right? Because obviously I've got the body of a 25-year-old, but I got the voice of an 85-year-old. Like, obviously, I have the voice of your grandmother, Pearl, right?
Yeah.
And with a name like Esther, it's possible when you hear Esther Forrester, you're like, oh my God, this 85-year-old Jewish woman walking with a hunchback. She came here from Hadassah, and she's about to tell stories about the Great Depression. Guys, that's my grandmother, okay? My grandmother lived through the Great Depression. She actually lived till 102, okay? Yeah, give it up for her. She passed away this past October.
Still working.
In fact, she's under there, and she's saying that was a bad joke. Or she's saying comedy's never gonna work out for you. You better have another plan. Why aren't you a lawyer? All right, and so my grandmother actually beat COVID 3 times in the hundreds. Okay, that's the thing now. You can live into the hundreds, maybe even the 110s. Who knows? And I have to say, my grandmother could beat COVID. There was no need to make us all miserable and staying home. Can we agree? We didn't need to stay home. Nobody likes COVID, right? Nobody wants to think about those times. Guys, did most of you are married or no? Anybody here married?
Yeah.
Are you all married to each other or are you all skipping out on your spouses?
We live in a commune.
Yes.
Yeah. There are communes in Newburgh or North Bergen?
West New York.
West New York.
Yeah.
And you're all living like free, wife swap, or not
Change
that?
it all the time.
What? That's my kind of place. I mean, guys, I was going to say, it turns out everybody's got allergies these days, right? Today people are allergic to the air. It turns out I'm allergic to clothing. Every piece of clothing I get itches from, I get agitated from, so conveniently for me, I'm just going to be naked. Yeah! Alright, that table back there, they're like, oh my God, she's going to get naked. And guys, like, did any of you date over the pandemic, or have you all been married forever? You dated. How'd that go for you?
I'm single again.
Okay, so not too well. I mean, because you kind of said after a while, like, even though we're not supposed to see people, you can't be on your own forever. Do you live alone or with friends or what? Okay, so after a while, you're like, the cats can only be so much of a friend. Like, you can't, like, I used to think when I was younger, I'm like, do cats have religion? And then everyone's like, what? Like, because if a family has a religion, but that's how I knew I kind of belonged doing this kind of a thing. Is that the light or that's another picture? Okay. And so, you know, you can't really date your cat. So you figured you had to go out with guys. So you figured, forget it, it's a little unsafe, but who cares? So I went out with one guy, and then I was like, oh shoot, if he had COVID, I could get COVID too. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to settle on this one guy. Because is that extra inch really worth COVID? Yeah, she knows what I'm talking about. An extra inch here, not here. And so
I don't get it.
You don't get it?
No. Say that again.
Meaning his schlong, not his height.
Oh, okay.
So either way, an extra inch either way is not really worth catching COVID for. So I'm like, okay, I have him, minimize the damage. I also, by the way, I don't get invited to weddings, okay? Some girls, hot girls, don't get invited to weddings because people are afraid you're gonna try to fuck the groom, okay? That's just it. Or they figure because I talk too much and say things like the cats have religion, that when the reverend or the rabbi goes, does anyone object? I would raise my hand and be like, hey! That he looks at girls too much. I don't think they're meant for each other. I think she just thinks she's out of time. So I don't get invited to weddings. But one wedding I did get invited to, and it was over COVID. It was September 18th, 2020. And it was an indoor wedding, and she said no masks, because she said it's my special day. I don't want pictures of my special day with people in masks. So naturally, some people didn't go. But I went, and I just stuck around like, the other, her friends from college and life, not, her family. And then afterwards, I was like, did she invite me because she wanted to kill me? And another wedding I got invited to my friend, and he's poly. Anybody know what that means or no?
No.
You don't know. Okay, so you're getting an education today, which is good. So polyamorous means you have many different partners, but you're open about it. No, that was my mom's reaction to that too. It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
So this guy, Leon, he has many girlfriends, which to him basically means he's a whore, but he's open about it. And he said, I'll screw any girl as long as she's my body type that I want, which is of course thin, size 6 and under, which lucky for him, he's in New York where there's plenty of that, whereas you go to the Midwest, he might have to slow down a little.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants that, right? If you want to go and go and go, you don't want to be slowed down. So, he invited me to his wedding because basically he wanted all his friends to pay for his wedding. So we had to donate something to the wedding, which thinking back on it, that's not a bad idea, right? How many people paid a good amount for your weddings? Anyone pay 6 figures for the wedding? Let's hope not. Anyone pay like over 20 grand for a wedding? Wow, this is a smart crowd, good. Anyone pay 10K or no? Everybody basically had a wedding on the beach where they got a rabbi over the internet, is what happened with this crowd. Basically, because otherwise you're a fool to spend so much on a wedding. So he basically wanted all of us to donate to his wedding, which at the time I thought he was being a leech. But really, it's a smart thing. Exactly, he is a leech. So I went and I baked some cookies, but they were burnt. And I was like, so he invited me. He wants to use me. Anyway, guys, I had no idea what to do with all this. I went to my psychics. That bitch didn't know I was coming. You've been great. You can find me on MySpace.